This video is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hello, baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Mathematically speaking, over the next couple of weeks, this is do or die time for the Braves. There's no doubt to me that that's the case. You have four division rivals that you're taking on in a row consecutively, and two of which are above you in the standings. And here's the thing. It's not really the Mets and the Phillies that we're trying to overtake at this point. Right now, the Braves are 13 games back of the New York Mets, okay? It's not to say that the division is just completely out of hand. Crazier things have happened. But the Mets and the Phillies aren't really the teams that we're looking for here. The teams that we're looking for are those at the bottom of the pile and that are currently overtaking a wild card spot. Right now, the lowest one is the Padres, who we are 8 games back of. So here's the deal. Here's what I mean by all of this. Right now, the Braves have 31 wins today, entering play tomorrow. The Mets are on pace for over 101 wins. Okay, they are likely going to get, if not 100 wins, pretty darn close to it, pending something traumatic happening, which is always possible. But that's, mathematically speaking, what they are on pace to do is 101 wins. The Phillies are on pace for 96 wins if the Braves wanted to overtake second place in the division. Right now, the Braves are on pace for 72. Okay, that's how bad this start has been. And we can get into a debate about whether it was the bullpen, whether it was the offense, whether it was the rotation, whether it was injuries, whether it was the manager, whether it was the third base coach. We can all get into that. That's the mathematic fact. They are on pace for 72 wins. That can change, but they're on pace for 72. They can have a hot streak. Lord knows they can have a low streak. So we'll have to see how it goes. But right now they're on pace for 72. If they are to go on a hot streak at any point this year, the Padres are on pace for around 90 to 91 wins. So mathematically speaking, the Braves need about 90 wins to have a chance at the dance, to have a chance to make it to the wild card. Okay, that's where they currently sit. They have got to find 20 extra games where they can win based on what they're projected to do at the moment on pace-wise. So what does that mean in terms of the next 92 games? Because that's how many the Braves have left. They have 92 games left in the season. We're almost halfway there, but not quite. So out of those 92, the Braves need 61 wins. And in case you're trying to do the math in your head, that's a .663 win percentage throughout the rest of the year. Now, that might sound impossible. I don't discount that. But hear me out. It is possible. And here's why I think it's possible. Number one, we do have Ronald Acuna Jr. back. And he is playing out of his ever-loving mind. A .390 average, 7 homers in 21 games. I mean, just an 1,100-plus OPS. Outstanding numbers. I mean, it's a short sample size, but to be coming back from injury and immediately putting up those kinds of numbers. But he's playing like an MVP, which is what you need him to do, certainly at a time like this. There are other concerns. I mentioned the pitching staff. Right now, our bullpen, I've said it since the beginning of the season, I thought it was going to be the most questionable thing. I did not think we were going to have the offensive woes that we've had. And that's kind of a thing, and I've said this, that's a thing that you kind of live with and die with because they're your guys. You're not going to trade away the guys you have locked up for substantial, years on a contract. And I went and looked at the numbers today, just from last year to this year. Hear me out. Last season, the Braves led in team ERA. Okay, they led all of Major League Baseball in team ERA. They led shutouts, all Major League Baseball in shutouts. They led everybody in strikeouts as well. Well, this year they're 5th in strikeouts, they're 25th in shutouts, and I want to say they're around 12th in team ERA.
The clock is ticking on the spectacular pre-owned truck sale now in progress at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Chevy, Ford, GMC, and Dodge trucks and Toyota trucks too. Full-size and heavy-duty, smaller trucks, work trucks. Prices and payments on all pre-owned trucks have been slashed. This is your chance to get a clean late-model used truck at the price you want. And during the sale, special finance rates are now in effect. This sale may end at any time. time. One location only, Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama.
The offense has taken a down step, no doubt about that. That's in there too, but it's not that drastic. It's not from 1st to 25th in shutouts. That, to me, just speaks to where we are in the pitching staff at the moment. And it's nobody's fault, per se, but we didn't re-sign A.J. Minter. That, I think, was a misstep. Even if it was financially motivated, which it was, I think that was a misstep. I think we tried to do what the Braves do a lot, which is put basically the island of misfit toys in the bullpen and kind of see what happens. But it didn't work out. It has not worked out this year. Eventually, if you get a Joe Jimenez back, that could be a substantial help, whenever that may happen. But right now, I think that if the Braves are competitive, I mentioned they're 8 games back right now in the wild card. If they are competitive come July 31st trade deadline, I think at that point, obviously we're buyers. If we're not competitive, I don't think we're going to be aggressive at the deadline. I could be wrong, but I don't think we're going to be aggressive at the deadline. And there's a difference in just being a buyer and a seller. I don't think it's that black and white or that clear cut. I think it's more we're either going to be a buyer, and I think we're going to go buy bullpen help. We may buy a bat, but more than likely bullpen help, and we're going to rely on Ronaldo Lopez to come back potentially and be a starter. But that, to me, is where we're going to buy mostly. If we buy a bat, I think you may trade a Jurickson Profar possibly just because he can't help you in the playoffs. You obviously had the steroid or performance enhancer issue. You may not want to deal with that. I don't know. I could be, talking out of my rear here. I don't know. But the other component of this is you may be a soft seller, not a fire seller, but a soft seller. And here's what I mean by that. You might sell Marcell Ozuna, right? Number one, he's playing hurt right now, and all due credit to Marcell Ozuna for doing that because he doesn't have to. And the fact that he's suiting up every day and playing in that condition is just remarkable. But you could sell him because anybody that is a contender would love to have a bat like that, no doubt about it. On top of that, if you were to let him walk, especially since he's a free agent at the end of the year, other people have mentioned Chris Sale. That is potential as well. He does have another year or two on his contract. But that's a guy that is going to attract a lot of contenders to possibly trade prospects, possibly trade pitching. That's the kind of name that would do that. There's nobody right now in the bullpen that I'm looking at as another team from their perspective and going, yeah, that's a guy that's a lockdown reliever. We just don't have a lot of that. We may have arms, and we do. We have guys that can throw. Rysell, as bad as Rysell has been this year, he's still a guy who you can depend on 9 times out of 10. I say that, but you hear me out. He's still a guy you can count on regularly to give you a solid inning of relief. Change of scenery. We've heard it a million times before. You never know. But I don't think he's a guy that you're going to put in a trade package that's going to seal the deal. There's no doubt about it that this series against the Mets, this 3-game series against the Mets, the 3-game series against Miami, the 4-game series against the Mets following that, and the 3-game series against the Phillies, this may be the biggest stretch of the year. And normally, I always go to the calendar and I circle series and, this could be big. I need to, try to get into this game for media. That's kind of how I've always done it. And normally it's a series against the Mets or the Phillies in like September. Here we are in June, and I'm telling you, this could be the biggest stretch of the year for the Braves. This could be where they turn it around. This could be where they're finally, buried 6 feet under. I don't know. But like it says in the title, it's do or die time for the Braves. This video has been presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.